Betrayal is beautiful. Not in the moment. In the moment, it cuts deeper than anything. It makes you question people, life, and even yourself. But that same pain, that same bitterness, it has a strange way of opening your eyes. It shows you who's real. It strips away all the illusions in your life and it gives you clarity you would have never had without it. So betrayal is never beautiful when it happens. But boy, oh boy, what it leaves behind always is.
I put all of my importance on her. And my friends, they expressed that to me. They said, yo, Ed, you're spending a lot of time with her, man. Like, what about us? Like, we were there for you before she ever existed. And I was like, oh, guys, but I'm in love.
Trust. It was once an invisible pillar of human life. We trusted a given word, a look, a promise. Today, trust has become fragile, rare, almost naive. But why? The first reason is simple, yet painful. We have been betrayed too many times. Psychologically, trust is built through repetition. When a relationship, whether emotional, social, or professional, exposes us repeatedly to disappointment, the brain learns to protect itself. It begins to associate trust with danger. So instead of opening up, it shuts down. Not out of cruelty, but out of survival. The philosopher Thomas Hobbes already believed that humans live in fear of one another. In a society where everyone seeks security before understanding, trust becomes a risk rather than a foundation. We are taught to be careful, stay alert, don't be naive. Caution has become a virtue, but it has replaced trust. Then there is the society of appearances. Social media has deeply altered our relationship with truth. We no longer show who we are, but who we want others to believe we are. When everything can be filtered, edited, and manipulated, the boundary between truth and illusion disappears. Psychologically, this creates a constant state of doubt. If everything can be fake, why believe anyone? The philosopher Jean Baudrillard spoke of a world of simulacra, where reality is replaced by representation. In such a world, trust has no solid ground to stand on. And we must also talk about extreme individualism. We live in an era that constantly tells us to put ourselves first. Succeed alone. Protect yourself alone. Win alone. But trust is a collective act. It requires believing that the other person is not driven solely by self-interest. When everyone becomes their own center, the other becomes a potential threat. From a psychological perspective, trust requires something our society increasingly rejects: vulnerability. To trust is to accept not having full control. It is to accept the possibility of being hurt. And in a world obsessed with performance, strength and image, vulnerability is seen as weakness. The philosopher Nietzsche said that modern man wears a mask. The more masks we wear, the harder it becomes to recognize sincerity. And when sincerity is no longer recognizable, trust disappears. Finally, there is an uncomfortable truth. We no longer trust because we ourselves are no longer trustworthy. Broken promises, flexible values, truths adjusted to convenience. When a society normalizes useful lies and strategic betrayal, it silently destroys collective trust. Trust does not vanish overnight. It erodes slowly with every small betrayal we tolerate, with every complicit silence, with every time we choose interest over integrity. But trust is not dead. It has simply become selective. It no longer gives itself freely because it has learned its value. And perhaps the real question is not, why does trust no longer have a place in our society? But rather, are we still willing to be people worthy of trust?